What is up, everybody? Welcome into this Tuesday episode of Flippin Bats. We got a lot today. One up, one down, one team or player on the rise, and one going in the other direction. Also, Immaculate Grid is back. 90 seconds on the clock. How many can I get? An honesty hour about the NL MVP race and some fan questions to finish up. This one's going to be a blast. Let's get to it.
Ball onto the track, at the wall, it's gone! Home run!
Turns on a ball, deep right field, and gone!
What a game, what a moment. Happy Tuesday, my friends. I am joined by Alex Curry. And Alex, another good week of baseball, good Monday show in the books. Tuesday, a lot to talk about today.
We do. I have a question. I was just noticing this, and I don't know if I've ever noticed before. Are you a lefty?
No.
You are like, you do all of your motions with your left hand. When you talk, when you're doing things, I was like, have I never, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Do I really? I don't do anything left-handed. I can't even eat with a fork left-handed.
That is crazy. Yeah. When you're like doing the open, you're motioning and everything's with your left hand. So I was like, huh, is he a lefty?
I don't.
Random thoughts. I feel like Tuesday's always like really random out there thoughts, but there's also like, we're 2 days away. What did you
No, I'm just
say?
saying, I'm like perplexed. You've never even brought that up until in this second. I'm trying to, I don't know. Like I catch, like I do nothing with my, besides like catch a baseball. Like you do that with your left hand.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. I don't know what.
Interesting. Yeah, when you're doing the intro, it's the left hand that you use. And
maybe it's because the mic
moves, it wiggles.
I have
don't know.
more freedom over here.
Okay.
My right hand's kind of trapped under the microphone, so maybe my left hand feels
Freedom
more
for the
free.
lefties.
Yeah.
Freedom for the lefties.
Yeah.
But Ben, we're just 2 days away from NFL kickoff. It is almost here, and we have some new shows that Fox Sports is launching.
Yeah, we have Bear Bets with Chris Feliga, the Bear, and we have NFL on Fox podcast, and
it's exciting. We're growing.
We are growing.
We're getting more shows here in our brand new studio.
It will definitely be a part of my rotation for sure of things I listen to heading into the football weekend because I'm a Cowboys fan.
I'm sorry.
Your Rams are going to be so bad this year.
They're going to be so bad. I went to Vegas a couple months ago and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm going to take Rams over 6.5 wins. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling good about that. I did in Vegas. Cause I like to when you're there, just like place some physical bets. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling good about that. Especially after this week, hearing that Stafford's not really connecting with the young guys in the building. Cup's now injured again. I'm not feeling good about it. well, let's just, you're Cowboys, though.
It's two contrasts. My whole life since I've been born has been the highest of expectations for the Cowboys, and they go 8-8 or now 9-8 because there's an extra game. They maybe get into the playoffs. They might win a game at best, and then they lose. Rinse and repeat every year.
And you've won 4 playoff games since 2000. It's brutal. I'm sorry. But
thank you.
May we both have a good
I'm excited
with our teams.
Yeah.
It's an up and down season, which leads us to our first segment here. One up, one down. We're each going to pick either a team or a player that we feel is on the up and one that is on the down. Ben, we're going to start with you. Who is your up?
My up is Trey Turner. Trey Turner. The story of what has happened to Trey Turner since that ovation, I don't think we're really talking enough about what was happening. He signed, he's there for over a decade.
Yeah.
And he was really struggling more than he ever had in his entire career at a new place, trying to impress, trying to put on a show. And it wasn't going well. And he knew it. His mom knew it. She was booing him in the stands.
So brutal.
The fans knew it. They were booing him. And then it got to a point where they came up with this plan to all of a sudden, instead of booing, they were just going to give him a standing ovation and encourage him.
Mm-hmm.
And since that day, his season has turned around. And in the last month, Trey Turner's hitting .362 with 11 homers and 30 RBIs in the month. His season has completely turned around. again, he's there for over a decade. Is he doing great? Was he doing great at the beginning? No, but that's just 1/30th of his contract.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to leave a bad taste in the guy's mouth in the first couple months he's there. He's putting as much pressure on him as anybody. So what they did was awesome, deserves a lot of credit. And yeah, Trey Turner is my up.
Can we just say, like, and focus on the power of positivity here? Like, the entire fan base gave him a standing ovation. He felt that positive energy and he turned that into results.
That's a very Alex thought.
Power of positivity. That's where my mind went. All right. Ready for my one up?
Yeah.
All right. My one up are the Atlanta Braves. Now, you might say, Alex, they're the best team in baseball. Aren't they always the one up? I am having them my one up this week because they came to LA and absolutely dominated. They took 3 of the 4 games against the Dodgers. They were the first team to 90 wins. And the Braves in the month of August were first in batting average, runs per game, hits, second in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, home run, and extra base hits. Plus, Ronald Acuna Jr. just made absolute history last week, Thursday. First player in the history of the game with 30-plus home runs, 60-plus stolen bases. And I just want to point out how epic of a day that was for him.
Yeah.
Getting married in the morning and then going to Dodger Stadium, hitting his 30th home run in Grand Slam fashion and creating history. And then I don't know if you saw, but Freddie Freeman actually presented Ronald Acuna Jr. with a base. With a signed base that really puts into perspective how big these bases
they are. It really does.
When it was right next, it was like his full upper
it's his
half
entire
of his body.
torso.
It was an extra large pizza, like very big. That's what the base kind of reminded me of as Freddie was holding it and handing it to Ronald. But it was epic. I mean, the Braves obviously took that series in LA, but I also just want to, we've talked about this a lot, how special it is that we're seeing such an epic MVP battle between Ronald Acuna Jr. and Mookie Betts. So good job, Braves. Here you go. Here's the video, if you're watching, of Freddie handing that base to Ronald Acuna Jr. And he's actually holding it to where it is from his shoulders all the way down to his shorts.
It really is huge.
It's huge.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that was cool. That's my one up. Okay. Now let's switch gears. Let's go to our one downs. Okay. Who is your down?
Mine is the Texas Rangers.
Oof, yeah.
The Rangers were really in control of the AL West all season long. And then it's just been a downward spiral really since like the trade deadline. It hasn't been great. That's not true. Right around the trade deadline, it was good. And then the last few weeks has just been really bad. In their last 16 games, the Rangers are 4-12 and have gone from leading the division to on the cusp of being out of a playoff spot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're still in a wild card spot, but they don't have a firm grasp on it.
No.
So a big win for them on Sunday with the Adolis Garcia walk-off, but man, it has just been really bad. At one point, the division lead over the Mariners for them was 10 games. That went away in a month. I mean,
10 games.
Yeah. And now the Mariners are leading the division. I mean, we're in for quite the stretch. And again, the Rangers do, you say this in baseball, there's 162 games, but they control their own destiny. Play good baseball down the stretch, you'll get in, right? They're in that spot right now. 8 of their last 13 games are against the Mariners.
The division, yeah.
I completely made up 8 of their last 13. I know they played 2 series. I think it's like 7.
They're like third and last. Third to last and last series are against.
I think it's
the
like
Mariners.
7 of their last 10
math.
would be my guess.
Okay, math.
But
cool.
As long as you say things with gusto,
CPI.
then yeah.
Remember CPI?
Curry
probability index.
index.
You say it strong enough, like, how much do I believe you? We talked about this earlier this season. If you're new to what the CPI is.
I also forgot what the CPI is.
Do you want me?
No, we're good.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, Alex, it's not good. The bullpen for the Rangers is a nightmare. They have more blown saves than saves on the season.
That's so bad.
And for a team that is as good and talented as they are, offense is one of the best in baseball. The bullpen has been their Achilles heel, and they acquired Aroldis Chapman, and he looked to be really good and a huge addition. And I'm not saying he's not, but he's definitely had some blown save issues. And to be here at the beginning of September and they have more blown saves than saves, that is never a good thing.
No.
So now they're on the cusp of not being in a playoff spot. They are my one down. Who's yours?
We're staying in the AL West for my one down, because after what we just saw the Angels do last week, I don't know how I cannot have them be my one down. That was the craziest month. I'm going to say that was the craziest month we've ever seen from a team, not in a good way, that I've ever seen in the history of baseball. I mean, I don't know how you recover from this. You're not going to be able to keep Shohei Ohtani once he becomes a free agent. You depleted your farm system once again by deciding not to trade Shohei Ohtani and make the run. But let's just replay just a little reminder this last month leading up to last week and how everything kind of unfolded. All right. So since August 1st, trade deadline, the Angels had one of the worst record in Major League Baseball. July 26th, Artie Moreno pulls Shohei Ohtani off the market. July 27th, Moreno demands the team goes all in and trades for Giolito and Lopez. July 31st, Angels trade for Crone and Grichuk. August 23rd, Shohei Ohtani tears his UCL and Mike Trout goes back on the IL after one game back. August 29th, the Angels put all of the players that they traded for on waivers and got nothing. You traded away top prospects for these guys because you thought you were going to make a run. You were keeping Shohei Ohtani, decided not to get anything in return for Shohei Ohtani. And now you literally have nothing. You're not going to be able to keep Shohei Ohtani. You depleted your farm system once again. And I do not see a light at the end of the tunnel.
You know what the craziest part of that is? The reasoning that they put everybody on waivers is to get under the luxury tax.
$2 million.
And because Randall Grichuk didn't get picked up on waivers, they didn't end up getting under
it. Didn't even work. Is that not the most on brand for how their month has been?
Yeah. Not good.
It's so bad. Yeah. I mean, and also just to top it off, obviously they were bottom 3 offensively in the league in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, and hits.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. That's some honesty right there.
Yeah.
It's time for Honesty Hour.
Honesty Hour.
Yep.
All right, everyone. This is going to be a good one.
It is.
Alex likes it.
I love it.
Time to be honest. We, as baseball fans, need to stop tearing down one player or another to make an argument for MVP. We need to appreciate what is happening while it's happening. Let's use Mookie Betts and Ronald Acuna Jr., right? I get so tired of hearing the argument has gotten to a point. This is the best thing happening in baseball right now. This stretch with Mookie going off and Ronald Acuna Jr. going to LA and one-upping him in his home stadium. It's been awesome, and it's so good for the game of baseball that they're duking it out back and forth, and it became pretty much neck and neck. And the argument, instead of saying, and I'm not even arguing for one or the other right now, instead of saying Ronald Acuna Jr. is doing something this year that has never, ever happened in the history of baseball. He's stolen 60 plus total bases. He's doing that with power. He's been great all year long. He's been consistent. All of that is there. Instead of arguing for that, then the contrary argument becomes, well, stolen bases means nothing anymore. What is 60 plus? Blah, blah, blah. New bases, new rules makes it so easy. Well, if it's so easy, why does nobody else have it?
Yep.
That's one point. And then on the contrary, to Mookie Betts, it's like, well, yeah, he's had one good month. Well, wrong. He's had one of the best months we've ever seen. He's had 3 incredible months in a row. The start to the season wasn't fantastic, but it doesn't really matter because when you look up at the end of the year, your numbers are your numbers for, maybe you have a player like Ronald Acuna that has hit 330 every month of the season, or a player like Mookie Betts, who I'm going to use extremes here. This didn't actually happen, hit 100 for a month and then 500 for the next month. And then you average it out and guess what? They have about the same numbers. I just hate that to argue for the player that we feel like should be the MVP, you tear down another player that's having a historic season. I hate it. It irks me to no end. Last year, it started with the Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani MVP race. And everybody wanted to say, well, Ben, you're picking Shohei. How could you? I never once, not once all year long, used something against Aaron Judge. No, because Aaron Judge, it's so good for baseball, right? I would never argue against what Aaron Judge was doing. I just personally felt like Shohei was the most valuable player. But I would never argue the contrary there. And I just feel like we're at a place now where to make an argument for whoever you think should be the MVP, we're tearing down the other person. And I think we could get really deeper here and just say like that's become like society, and Twitter as a whole is just tearing down, like, okay, I'm not going to be positive. I want to use the negative and take down this person. And I feel like that's what happens with the MVP race instead of just appreciating. I went to Dodger Stadium, Alex, and I sat down and was in awe at those two players. Yeah. It is so cool to watch Mookie Betts turn double plays in the infield. Yeah. Like really cool. He's a Gold Glove outfielder. To sit there and to watch him do what he's doing in the infield is remarkable. To watch Ronald Acuna Jr. hit the hardest home run the hardest hit ball that I've ever seen in person was awesome. And I get out there and I'm like, this is so good for baseball. And then you get online or he'll hear people talking about the argument and it's, tell me why Mookie Betts is the MVP. And it's, well, Ronald Acuna, this, and this, or the contrast. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Honesty hour.
This is honestly some great life advice.
Woo!
You should never bring someone down to lift another up.
Wow.
Don't do it. And that's what you're doing here with the MVP race.
Well, not me.
Not you. This conversation.
But yeah.
The people.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people.
The people.
Yeah.
The people on the line.
Yeah. Let's just, I
don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Don't bring someone down to bring someone else up.
You could sit there. We could argue for 2 hours about who the MVP is and have a great enough argument without ever saying something negative about the other person.
Yeah.
You could argue that Mookie Betts is the MVP. You could argue that Ronald Acuna is the MVP, and you wouldn't be wrong. It's your opinion. Just stop tearing down the other. And maybe that got too like cheesy and lift each other up. I just hate hearing the MVP argument and people just drives me crazy. You are. And hearing you turn it into life advice, realize how cheesy it could be taken.
No, I mean, we're also like a very positive show, people.
Unless talking about like owners that need to sell the team or this.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
But you're
good people.
Flippin Bats.
Have fun.
Have fun. Go sports.
Are you ready for more fun?
Yes.
Are you taking a deep breath?
Yes.
We have Immaculate Grid coming up next here. Now, if you're new to this game, I think we've done it now every week, couple times a week. Hopefully everyone is...
Yeah, we won't need to forever explain the whole thing.
Should we explain again?
Sure.
Okay. Ben's going to have 90 seconds to name 9 players. Now, Immaculate Grid is an actual grid that has 9 squares, 3 rows. You have teams or accolades along the top and the side, and each square that you name a player for has to line up to the team on either side or accolade on either side.
This will be the last explanation. The last show. Soak it all in, everyone. This will be the last time Alex fully explains what Immaculate Grid is, because hopefully everybody knows.
Yeah, making boxes with my hands, rows and boxes. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is our control room ready? All right, let's get 90 seconds on the clock. See if Ben can go immaculate and get 9 players. And let's put the grid on the board.
Timer's already started. Stop the timer.
Uh-oh. Okay, get the timer going.
Now go.
On.
All right.
Chaos. Go.
Okay.
Get the timer
Phillies, Giants. Phillies, Giants. Phillies, Nationals. I'll go Bryce Harper. Phillies, Giants.
So along the top, you got Giants,
Phillies,
Nationals,
Gold Glove, Jimmy Rollins.
Along going down, Phillies, Brewers, Blue Jays. If you're just listening and not
Blue
watching.
Jays, Giants. I'll go Brandon Belt.
Okay.
Why can't I think of?
He's got 3 in a minute.
Phillies, Giants. I'll go Andrew McCutchen. Blue Jays. Blue Jays gold gloves are kind of tricky. Brewers gold glove. Let's go.
I think that's gonna be it.
Lorenzo Cain. That should be right. I think you won a couple. Okay.
All right, you got 3 more.
Nationals.
36 seconds.
Nationals, Blue Jays. Is Brad Hand? Okay. I don't know why my mind. This might be wrong. Brewers, Giants. I'm gonna go Darren Ruff. Okay, he can't type.
Okay, keep going.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
2 more.
Brewers,
5
Nationals.
seconds.
Brewers, Nationals.
Say it. 1. No.
Ben Revere maybe
All right.
would have been. I don't know. Okay.
Not bad.
Good.
Not
7.
bad. 7 out of 9.
7. Pretty good. No, don't give me the buzzer. Give the buzzer to Logan, who can't spell back
you
there.
You were immaculate. You didn't have to wait. You could have kept thinking and saying other names.
I was going on. I didn't know the list.
Do not blame this on Logan. Logan did an amazing job. We appreciate you, Logan. This is on Ben.
No, I wasn't getting. No, I wasn't getting. I didn't know the other 2. Brewers, no.
Now you're okay. You
Blue
want to
Jays
continue.
gold glove. Who's a Blue Jays gold glove? Anybody know?
Has Vladdy won a gold glove?
No. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
He did. That's
he has.
wild. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay for me.
All right. 7 of 9. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not great, pretty good.
Not bad.
All right. And to finish up, we're up here on the stage. We're going to get some fan questions in the wall. Alex, take it away.
What a hold on the bat right now. It's a high choke up. It's batter up. He's ready. All right. Let's get to some fan questions. Our first one comes from Brian. He said, if the season ended today, not all of the best teams in the AL make the postseason because each division must be represented. Toronto or Texas would be out, so the Twins could have a spot. With more balanced schedule, is it time to get rid of divisions? Love the show.
I like the question a lot.
Yeah.
I also think there is value in having divisions.
Okay.
I am for realignment. I think when MLB expands in a few years, whenever that is, and goes to 32, I think tear it all up,
just west
realign.
And east?
I don't know what I do whatever you want. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not paid to make those decisions, but I would love.
I'm
I'm
fun
here
to talk
for
about it.
We should do that. That sounds like a great off-season show.
It does. We'll
Predicting
save that.
realignment and what to do.
We'll save that.
I would love to see realignment and with the expansions, and then you have the discussion of, well, who gets into the playoffs? How does that work? But currently, with the way it's set up, every division winner should go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this has been the case, and this is the case in a lot of different things. But you win your division, there's a benefit to that, right? You play more teams in your division more often. If you're the best team in your division, you should go to the playoffs. And it's just the nature of it. Sometimes you're in a more difficult division.
Yeah.
Over time, it all plays out, right? Like the Blue Jays, as you mentioned, might be the team this year that gets screwed, right? The Blue Jays are better than the Twins, but they might be on the outside looking in at the end of the season. But you can't. That's just the way it happens. You know, should have won more division games. And so. But I am excited about realignment at some point.
Yeah, and we'll come back to this in a couple of months in the offseason.
In the offseason.
Thank you for the episode idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next question. This one comes from Luna17. Hi, Ben. I love watching your YouTube. I've been worrying about Shohei as a fan in Japan to save the greatest player of all time, great pitchers like your brother. Isn't it a high time for MLB to change ball to less slippery one, like the NPB balls?
This is a really good question.
Yeah.
And I don't think, look, I don't know. I don't know if anybody truly knows. I wouldn't personally make the correlation of why Shohei has now torn his UCL multiple times because of the baseball. But I do know that Major League Baseball needs to adopt some sort of thing like they do in the NPB, where they have a preset material, or what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever they rub on the baseballs.
The Mississippi mud?
Yeah, but it's not Mississippi mud there. They have this like pre-approved substance that every baseball is rubbed up with. And it's, like Major League Baseball got in this weird stage where it was like, okay, we all know pitchers use things. It's okay. It's fine. And then Spider Tack comes along and it's like, well, you can't do that. And then it's like, well, what can you do? And then the baseballs had nothing on them. Pitchers were complaining all over the place. The baseball is too slippery.
Yeah.
This is not good. So now it's just, well, you can use rosin and sweat. And now we're seeing players this year get popped for a sticky substance they're saying it was just sunscreen and rosin.
Yeah.
Make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
God, we could adopt so much. We as in Major League Baseball could adopt so much from the NPB.
Yeah.
They do so many things really well, and this is one of them. Have a substance. It's approved by the league.
Yeah.
It's what every baseball is rubbed up by, and you cannot put anything else on the baseball. You know what's on it.
Okay.
And it's approved, and it's good to go. This is a good question, but I wouldn't correlate it to Shohei's injury.
But also you have to remember Shohei, when he came to Major League Baseball, he already had elbow issues. That was a concern. So I think there was already something pre-existing that then got worse once he was here.
Yeah.
So it's not fully 100% to blame on Major League
I don't
Baseball.
think the baseball. The baseballs are. I do think it's an issue and something. The pitchers are struggling with the inconsistency of baseballs and stuff like that. That's where I think the big difference comes about. But I wouldn't correlate like Shohei needing I don't know what he's going to need, but the first Tommy John and now this tear to the slippery baseball.
All right, we got one more fan question that we're going to wrap things up with from Savannah. Should there be any changes within pitch clocks, mound visits, throwovers, etc. in the playoffs, or would you prefer to see how the new rules work come October?
Okay, so we talked about this Monday.
Yes.
Here's my thoughts.
Okay.
Major League Baseball absolutely did the right thing by keeping the rules in place for the postseason. That's why baseball is in such a good place right now, right? These new rules, people love it. They're great. This is a different question. Yesterday we said, was that the right call? I believe it was.
Yeah.
This is, should they change anything? I would love to just 5 seconds more
on the
pitch clock in the playoffs with a runner on base and nobody on base. Just both of those from 15 and 20 seconds to 20 and 25. I do think when it comes October, or maybe 20 and 30 in the postseason, I do think in the postseason, those moments that everybody knows is a moment, like Bryce Harper's home run last year in the NLCS, that at bat, there were like minutes in between pitches, and everybody loved every single second of it.
Edge of your seat.
In the regular season, it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, it just adds to the intensity that everybody knows and feels. So in a perfect world, I would love to expand the pitch clock a little bit, but definitely keep it. I think all the rules have been great for baseball.
I agree.
But yeah, just a couple tweaks in a perfect world.
It's fun.
That's
in
Tuesday.
A perfect world. That's Tuesday.
The first Tuesday episode, my friends. There will also be This Week in Shohei Ohtani news later in the day on Tuesday. But for this first one, that does it. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. We're also on all social media, including YouTube, where you can watch every single thing we do at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. But until next time, my friends, this has been our Tuesday episode of Flippin Bats.